Hi, this is Juanita MORE, and as one of the city's most recognizable drag queens, I feel that I have a responsibility to my community as a social connector to talk about politics and the upcoming election. I've called San Francisco my home for all of my adult life and have played many roles here, including mother, muse, philanthropist, and collaborator. The underlying spirit that binds all of these things together is a desire to make this city we all share a better, more joyful place. There is an ever-expanding web of associations that I've brought together in the past 30 years as a drag queen, and I can't do what I do and be happy without a thriving community of support. And when that community is threatened, that's where politics come in. We are so close to going to the polls, and time is precious. The issues that we currently face locally, nationally, and globally are so serious on so many levels. There is not only a sense of urgency, but one of responsibility. You must involve yourself with knowledge, facts, and sometimes by simply putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Because your vote can especially affect those less fortunate than you. I've said this before, I'm just one drag queen without a political action committee or big money backing me. So if my voice can inspire my community to be involved and take action, I'm happy. I've posted my annual Queer Agenda voting guide on my website at juanitamore.com/vote. I urge you to take a read through it and get to the polls and get everyone you know to vote.
¡Órale! ¡Ay, qué rico, fantástico, delicioso!
¡Ay, papi! ¡Juanita! ¡Juanita! ¡Ay, Juanita!
I saw her from the corner of my eye. She was a fine mama sister, I cannot lie. Her hair was a golden brown, and from her lips came the sweetest sound. She said burritos, enchiladas, and tamales too. I wanna fill you up, I got a taco for you.
The bitch from the liquor.
Yo, I nearly went crazy, I hit the flow. She was talking to me, Miss Juanita MORE.
Juanita!
She wore a dress was made by Gucci. The zipper was down, exposing her coochie. Yeah, she flashed her pussy all over town, inside out and upside down, and no one else wants.
Good evening and welcome to Juanita More, a virtual charity fundraising event. I am Sister Roma, the most photographed nun in the world, and a 33-year member of the San Francisco Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Tonight, like most drag queens around the world, I am standing in front of a cheap piece of fabric, talking to my iPhone, surrounded by a ring light. I'm so honored to be here tonight to introduce this show because seriously, I've known Juanita for over 2 decades, and I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, she annoys me. She does. She's annoying. There isn't anything this bitch can't do. She's a world-class DJ. She's a phenomenal chef. She's a fashion and style icon. She's a party event planner. She's a philanthropist, an activist, a fundraiser. I mean, you might know her from her epic pride parties where she raises tens of thousands of dollars every year for charity. Or maybe you're on Juanita's list where she connects people and helps them find housing. Or maybe you were lucky enough to be invited to one of her famous naked dinner parties. Or maybe even at Pride this year, you went to the People's March, which Juanita helped organize with our friend Alex Yuin. Everything Juanita does is amazing and inspired by love for the community. I honestly have to say I'm so thrilled to be here. She's a dear friend. She inspires me. She's a confidant. She's my neighbor. I get to go down there for dinner, so I know, don't be jealous. So when she called me and asked me to do this, of course, I said yes. And then I heard the charity she's supporting, and I was like, oh, perfect. The LGBT Center, such a crucial organization that provides services to everyone in our community. The ACLU, hi, we need them more than ever. Vote blue. And then an organization that's very near and dear to my heart, Mama G's Thanksgiving Dinners, which was started by our mutual friend Peter and named after his mother. Every year I go down to Civic Center with Mama G's and we serve hundreds of meals to people who are hungry or living outdoors in San Francisco. So it's just an honor to be here. I know the show's going to be amazing. Juanita is going to recreate some of her most iconic lip syncs. There's going to be a DJ set and then a finale that has to be seen to be believed. So stick around, donate what you can, but most of all, enjoy the show and prepare yourself. You're going to be screaming for Juanita more, more, more!
Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes, sometimes just pretzels and beer, but I'm here. I've stuffed the dailies in my shoes, strummed ukuleles, sung the blues, seen all my dreams disappear, but I'm here. I've slept in shanties, guessed off the WPA, but I'm here. Danced in my scanties, $3 a night was the pay, but I'm here. I've stood on bread lines with the best, watched while the headlines did the rest. In the Depression was I depressed? Nowhere near. I met a big financier, and I'm here. I've gotten through Herbert and J. Edgar Hoover. Gee, that was fun and a half. When you've been through Herbert and J. Edgar Hoover, anything else is a laugh. I've been through Reno, I've been through Beverly Hills, and I'm here. Reefers and vino, rest cures, religion and pills, but I'm here. Been called a pinko, commie tool, got through it stinko by my pool. I should have gone to an acting school, that seems clear. Still someone said she's sincere, so I'm here. Black sable one day, next day it goes into hawk, but I'm here. Top billing Monday, Tuesday you're touring in stock, but I'm here. First you're another slow-eyed vamp, then someone's mother, then your camp, then you career from career to career. I'm almost through my memoirs, and I'm here. I've gotten through Hey Lady, aren't you whoosies? Wow, what a looker you were. Or better yet, sorry, I thought you were whoosies. Whatever happened to her? Good times and fun times, I've seen them all, and my dear, I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes, sometimes just pretzels and beer, but I'm here. I've run the gamut, A to Z, 3 cheers and damn it, c'est la vie. I got through all of last year, and I'm here. Lord knows at least I've been there, and I'm here. Look who's here. I'm still here.
Good evening. My name is Roberto Ordeñana, and I am the Deputy Executive Director of the SF LGBT Center. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I want to thank you for your incredible support of the SF LGBT Center, which works hard to connect people to each other, to resources, and to opportunities so that we can be stronger and healthier, and so that we could create a more just and equitable world for all. COVID-19 has impacted all of us, particularly the most vulnerable members of our community. While we've been sheltering in place, we have been continuing to provide many of our critical services, and we really couldn't do this without you. Your support is helping people find jobs, it's helping young people, particularly those experiencing homelessness, connect to housing and to free mental health services, and it's helping us create online programming so that we can continue to build community with one another. Juanita, we're incredibly thankful to you for your amazing support of the center for so long now. I remember the first time that you got involved with the center, which is close to 20 years ago, when you DJ'd one of our earliest dances for LGBTQ youth. I would give anything to see the smile on those faces of those proud and joyful young people. Friends, Juanita brings us all joy. It's the joy that we experience when we come together at one of our gatherings, or dinners, or annual pride parties, or marches. She's an incredible force for our community. Did you know that to date, she has raised almost $1 million in support of critical nonprofits in the San Francisco Bay Area? We couldn't do this without her. Juanita, thank you for always bringing us together. Thank you for reminding us to give back. Thank you for reminding us to roll up our sleeves so that we can fight for our future. We need that now more than ever. Much love to all of you, and many thanks for your amazing support.
Hi everybody, it's me, Dulce de Leche. I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world. I've missed you all, and I hope you guys are enjoying this delicious drag show put on by my drag mother, Miss Juanita MORE. You know, when I first started off as a drag queen, I didn't have a drag mother. I was a young little drag orphan out there in the streets of San Francisco until one day I was hanging out with the legendary Mr. David Glamamore. We were drinking our whiskey gingers, and he looked over at me, he looked over at Juanita, and he looked back at me, and in his deep smoker's voice he said, "That's your drag mother." I went over to her the next booty call Wednesday and I said, "Juanita MORE, I want you to be my drag mother." She made me wait in true Juanita fashion. She said, hold up, because you know, taking on a drag daughter is a lot of responsibility. And she made me wait. She never officially gave me the go-ahead until the next booty call Wednesday, when she looked over at me and she looked at the group of boys that we were talking to, and she said, "All right, boys, this is your sister now." And from that day forth, she was a Moore.
Good evening, I'm Alex Yuen. I have the honor of introducing this next number. But before I go there, I just want to share with you how much Juanita MORE means to me. I love her to death. I will go and partner with and collaborate with her anywhere and everywhere. Matter of fact, we did that this year. In the heart of this pandemic, we took Black and brown and indigenous people of color, family, lovers, siblings, and put us together and celebrated 50 years of pride on the original route in San Francisco. We were held and bordered by our white allies, and we all became one community, one pride. We have that opportunity to do that again this year. Leading up to November 3rd, all of us have an accountability and a responsibility to vote. That is our one main goal. I know we have many, but that's our one main goal, to be able to unify our communities. No matter what side you're voting on, please vote. And just be present, please. So, I don't want to take any more of your time. I know you're going to follow true to your convictions. And I'm honoring Juanita Moore and the work that they are doing for this organization tonight. And please give where you can. Let's give it up for Juanita Moore.
Hi everybody, I am Miss Baby Glenn Moore. I'm Juanita's mother. What do we say about like a career together which has spanned over 3 decades more? I'm not at liberty to say how long. I met the person who would become Juanita Moore in the late 80s when I was returning from LA. I had just gotten off of a stint of designing costumes for the likes of Cher and Bon Jovi and Iggy Pop. I was in the limousine, in the back of a limousine with my friends who had picked me up at the airport, and this guy is sitting next to me, pardon me, and turns to me and is like, "Oh, that's really cute. Will you hand these pants that I have?" Needless to say, 2 days later, this person was over at my house, and I did, in fact, hem the pants. That was the beginning of our, what would turn into like 30 some odd years of designing together, of creating clothing. Fast forward 5 years later or so, early 90s, San Francisco, I was talked into coming for a vacation to San Francisco by my very good friend by that point. And it was the week before Halloween, and he was like, "Why don't we put me in drag? Doesn't that sound fun?" I was like, "You're going to be hideous. I don't want to do this." Come the night of Halloween, lean back in the chair. I'd been doing drag for decades, so of course I knew what I was doing, and I looked into her eyes and was like, "Oh my God, they're all the chicks. We're going to be fine." Thus began the moment when Juanita began, and has never stopped yet. That brings us right up to earlier this morning, where the two of us, in our symbiotic artist-muse relationship are working on her newest outfit for today, for tonight's show, for next week. And we're plotting what the next shows we're working on are going to be and when we're going to launch them and who's in them and how are we doing them, how we're presenting them at this moment in time. And our relationship is as fresh, several decades, 3 decades later, more. It's still as fresh today as it was when we very first met and started this whole adventure together of this creation. I don't know who the artist or the muse is any longer because the lines all blur. But I do know that our what we do together is made from joy and excitement and a desire for some more prettiness in the world. So I hope you enjoy this and have fun with it. And Juanita, may we have another 100 years together.
More Boy Jason here to remind you all of the 10 commandments of the More Boys. Number 1, thou shalt always adore Juanita, even when she's not in a good mood. Number 2, thou shalt always do what's right, or what feels good. Number 3, thou shalt not ever be flaky. Late will be tolerated. Number 4, thou shalt not sleep with thy brother, another More Boy, unless previously done. When in doubt, refer to rule number 2. Number 5, thou shalt not ever decline dinner at Juanita's. To do so would be sacrilege and stupidity. Number 6, thou shalt perform with Juanita whenever possible. Number 7, thou shalt always be an outstanding escort for Juanita, picking her up from and delivering her to her doorstep, unless she's drunk and belligerent. Number 8, thou shalt always be on the lookout for new More Boys. Number 9, thou shalt always be pretty, inside and out. No exceptions to this rule. And number 10, thou shalt always trust Juanita. Her mantra will lead you on a path glittered with the freedom to enjoy the gifts of life, love of yourself and others, and vision to see beauty and glamour forever.
Hi there, my name is Cassidy and I work with Mama G's. We are a Tenderloin-based organization entirely run by volunteers, and our goal is really to feed our neighbors in need with a warm and healthy meal. 2020 has been really difficult. We've had to pivot our distribution model, so we have been providing weekly meals to St. James Infirmary, as well as supporting the Mission Community Fridge, as well as providing snack bags to our unhoused neighbors who are in need. We could really use any donations from our community, so we thank you in advance, and we really want to be able to continue doing this work. So we are so grateful for donations of any size. We have almost zero overhead, so we really stretch every single dollar to make sure that we can feed as many of our neighbors as we can. So again, thank you so much.
I hope you're enjoying the show. My name is Corey Armenta. I am the executive chef and co-founder of Mama G's Thanksgiving Street Dinner. I want to take a moment to thank Juanita Moore for her continued support of our organization and others like ours. Juanita has spent her career in the spotlight, ensuring that people have a voice, a seat at the table, and a warm meal in front of them. You know, every year at our annual Thanksgiving dinner, Juanita cooks and delivers about 30 pounds of cranberry sauce, and it's a sight. You should see the look on our guests' faces. This year, our efforts to feed the underserved are going to look a little different. And that's why we're counting on people like you and Juanita to help us meet our goals. So make yourself another drink, cheers, and enjoy the rest of the show. And as Juanita would say, loads of love.
The ACLU stands for the American Civil Liberties Union and is the nation's largest public interest law firm, which means the ACLU works to legally defend every person's individual rights and liberties that are guaranteed in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The ACLU is not affiliated with or funded by any political party. It's a nonprofit organization that survives through volunteers and grants from foundations, donations, and annual fees paid by its membership, over 1.6 million strong. Every year, the ACLU's almost 300 staff attorneys and 2,000 volunteer attorneys take on over 2,000 cases, including Supreme Court cases. In fact, the only organization that appears before the highest court more than the ACLU is the U.S. Department of Justice. The ACLU was formed in 1920, a time when the unbridled fear of communism led President Woodrow Wilson, along with his Attorney General A. Mitchell Palmer, and the Department of Justice to conduct the Palmer raids. They arrested, detained, and even deported people they believed were political radicals. Palmer used the Espionage and Sedition Acts to justify the raids and the criminalization of people simply expressing opinions that he deemed threatened national security. But others saw these unwarranted arrests and unlawful search and seizures as egregious acts against civil liberties. A small group of these idealists got together to take a stand against these injustices and defend the civil rights outlined in the Constitution. This group came to be called the American Civil Liberties Union. The founders included the likes of Roger Baldwin, Crystal Eastman, and Helen Keller. Through the years, this small group would grow and evolve, taking on cases many others wouldn't, including a number of notable Supreme Court cases. In 1925, the ACLU defended John Scopes, a Tennessee high school teacher who was criminally charged for teaching about evolution in the famous Scopes monkey trial. During World War II, they fought against the internment of Japanese Americans through two cases, Hirabayashi v. United States in 1943 and Korematsu v. United States in 1944. They also worked with the NAACP to end legalized school segregation in 1954's Brown v. Board of Education. In 1966, the ACLU argued Miranda v. Arizona, which gave us the Miranda laws, requiring police to read the accused their rights when arrested. In 2015, their work on Obergefell v. Hodges helped repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, which led to same-sex marriage becoming legal in all 50 states. While some may not agree with every cause the ACLU takes up, the ACLU is nonpartisan. Its mission is to protect everyone's constitutional rights, even when that means protecting a widely unpopular or controversial stance. Like in 1977, when the government tried to prevent the National Socialist Party, or neo-Nazis, from wearing swastikas while marching through a neighborhood where many Holocaust survivors lived. The ACLU sued the government for infringing on the freedom of expression, and they won. The marchers were allowed to wear swastikas. Because for the ACLU, if it's a constitutional right, it has to be protected. Nearly a century after its founding, the ACLU is still active and continues to grow. The ACLU's platform and national projects cover many civil liberties issues, including immigrants' rights, women's rights, and workplace rights, to ensure that America remains a place of liberty and justice for all.
I have the pleasure of introducing one of my favorite drag queens and DJs in San Francisco, Miss Juanita MORE. Thank you, Juanita, for inviting me to play Playboy at the Stud in 2007. Honestly, it was one of my earliest DJ gigs in San Francisco. I had not even been here a year. And I was invited to play this amazing party, had drag queens and costumes and different themes every month. I think it was actually every Saturday. And I DJ'd a few times in unforgettable nights there. And then moving up to the bar on Castro for the notorious Booty Call Wednesdays that I didn't play right away, but I think it took me a few years to kind of beg Juanita or just maybe drop some hints. My best friend, Robot Hustle, Robert Yang, played so many times and I would always go and support him. And anytime a DJ was coming through town, I would always ask Juanita if they could play Booty Call, and she was always so accommodating, so thank you for that. And of course, the unforgettable Pride parties every June. from the pool party at the Phoenix to Jones, where I was so lucky to play in 2012. And I met so many amazing DJs through Juanita that played all of her parties, like House of Stank, W. Jeremy, and Christy Love, Horse Meat Disco. And I guess I also wanted to make note that Juanita always gives back to the community, and a lot of her parties raise revenue for really in-need charities, and that's something I think a lot of DJ crews can learn from, and Juanita has been an influence on definitely crews that I know of and parties. So thank you so much for your generosity and your caring. So take it away, Juanita.
This shit is good. Oh yeah. 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 This shit is good. This shit is good. Oh yeah. This shit is good. Oh yeah. Oh, this shit is good. This shit is good. Oh yeah. Oh shit. This shit is good. This shit is good. This shit is good. Oh yeah. This shit is good. Oh shit. Oh, this shit's good. This shit's good. Oh shit. This shit's good. This shit's good. This shit's good. Oh shit. This shit's good.
bonde dos cria.
Desci ao bonde dos cria.
Check it out. Check it out.
it's a true mosaic. You know, we're to me the most open-minded place you can possibly find yourself. So I don't ever look at it as that, you know. But there are other places that you go where it's just not so. It's not that simple, you know. And yeah, I never looked at it as overcoming anything. I was just like, man, I just got to be a good rapper. But you know, to a lot of other people, they were like, wait, whoa, wait, what? You're Canadian? They were like, wait, whoa, wait, what?
Somebody get drunk. When you get drunk enough, if you're really drunk, but you still feel it, got a hangover, got a headache, touch a neighbor, so I remember that. Some of y'all want to always say, tomorrow morning, I'm gonna still be shouting. It'll not only stop Sunday, and you come back and get drunk again. Am I right about it? The preacher ain't nothing but a bucket. Every Sunday morning, I'm passing out a drink. How much do you want? I want all of it.
Hi everyone, my name is Juanita MORE, and I am a San Francisco legend. I've been a District 3 resident of the Lower Polk neighborhood, and I am so excited to support Aaron Peskin for re-election. My life's work is about building community, fighting for fair-minded representation, and raising money through my annual Pride Party, which to date has raised over $600,000. I've been living in the Lower Polk neighborhood for about 30 years, and I've seen the neighborhood change a lot. We've lost a lot of queer space, which is why I'm so grateful that Supervisor Peskin co-hosted our first March to Remember, which was on Polk Street in 2018. We've also seen a big uptick in homelessness, which makes me very sad, but I am also grateful that Aaron is in office to fight for those who have the least. I was so happy and excited to hear that Aaron put into motion the steps necessary for the city to acquire 237 beds of permanent supportive housing at the Granada Hotel at Sutter and Hyde. This will ensure that we all have shelter and a chance to recover. Thank you, Aaron Peskin. I am so proud to join you in this re-election.
Bum